so excited. And I'm so excited for this drink afterwards. Okay.
This drink.
Yeah, we're gonna go and get drinks after this. Are we not? Are we not? Are we not going to friends? We said
I
we're
don't
getting
like
a
friends.
drink.
Drinks.
Oh,
I'm
you
talking
you
about a
want
drink.
plural?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have some drinks.
Okay, where are we gonna get drinks at?
Anywhere you wanna go. Friends. Fine. I
Okay.
haven't been there in a second.
Right, I was
I
about to
don't like to
say
go there that too much.
I don't want it to be another Bulldogs fiasco or whatever. What'd you say? Because you said I was saying like, oh, let's go somewhere, and then you was like, you didn't want to go, and I was like,
Yeah, because
fuck
Bulldogs
her,
was fun.
leave it.
Who said that?
You said I said that. You said I said
Oh
like,
yeah, you was being a little mean.
child.
You was. Because I.
You wanted me to beg you. I'm sorry.
No. You wanted to leave, and I wanted to stay, so you got mad.
You wanted to stay after you had already been
You
talking
got
about
irritated.
leaving.
I don't.
I think you were talking about leaving,
You've gotten upset with me multiple times.
and we still made it. Hey, Aaron, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you.
In the house, we had, well, not even in the house. I've been watching your videos, so I've been like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm a little caught up. I'm a little caught up. For people who don't know, this is my good friend, Aaron Keenan. Yay! He has his own channel, House of Aaron. Please check it out. Of course, you have to teach me how to put a video inside of another video because I be wanting to be like, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, and hopefully,
We're gonna get him together.
yeah,
I got you.
I'm in the early days. And speaking of the early days, I want to kind of talk about how do we know each other, Aaron?
How do we know each other? How do we meet?
Honestly, you're like one of my only friends that like I didn't meet like out on the scene and stuff. We met at work,
Wait, on the scene means like
at a bar,
okay.
or like through a mutual gay friend or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I stay out of that.
Maybe back then.
I stay out of it now.
Aaron, you're a lot more known than you think. And not
yeah, but I don't really be hanging out like that. I'm a homebody. I'm low key. I stay to myself. I stay to my core. My core audience. My core group of friends.
My core audience.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I've talked to some people and some men's child. They're like, oh, I know one of your friends, like the tall one. I'm like, oh, Keelan. They're like, no, the one that make videos. I'm like, oh, Aaron.
Oh, well, they know me. I don't know them.
Oh, child. Anywho's we met at the World of Coca-Cola way back in, you're probably better.
2018.
2018. I was a tour guide because obviously I have the personality for it. You know, the face, the smile. And
I was a photographer.
Yeah, because you have an eye for
just visuals.
Mm-hmm.
And but I had already known you via Instagram.
Okay. Really?
Yes.
Did I know? I feel like I think we both were
We
like,
knew of each
oh
other.
yeah, exactly. And was
Right.
like, I follow
So
you.
one day he was in the break room, and I went up to him. I was like, oh my god, I follow you on Instagram or something. Something I said.
And I was like, oh my gosh, too much. Sweetie, no autographs right now.
See, one thing about me, I'm a very humble spirit. So I feel like if I follow you, or if I know you, or if I know people who know you, I don't mind like going up to somebody being like, hey, like introducing myself and stuff like that.
Yeah, whatever happened to hello?
Other people, exactly. What happened to customer service? Other people, especially the gays, they feel like they are so high and mighty, even though y'all know we can look dead in each other's faces and we know that we know each other. You still not gonna say nothing. I just feel like that's kind of petty and ugly, but
petty and ugly. You heard it here first.
It is like, yeah, it is. That's petty.
Yeah, and I've came to realize, the type of things that you say very early on, when we were working together. Like you say little snappy stuff, I'd be like, I see you.
Okay.
I see you. But yeah, we were both working at the World of Coca-Cola in different positions. We'll always be like, hey, and stuff like that. And were you still in school then?
No, I had just graduated.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that why you got that position? Like you were looking for something in photography?
No, it was just like a transitional job.
Okay.
They were paying $2.50. So
Okay.
yeah.
What is your degree?
I went to Georgia Southern University, and my degree is in multimedia communications.
Oh, wow.
So when I got out of school, I didn't really want to get like a real job, but the circumstance, kind of like pushed me into that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't find one, so that's the time period I was in,
Mm-hmm.
like right out of school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Um, and I think when I met you, a way that I knew you, even then when you were like, oh, like we follow each other, I knew you through that the guy that you had that old channel with. I know. I never even remember. I didn't remember his name, but I was just like, you were a duo.
Yes.
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 Would you ever be a duo again? Would you ever do that again?
I don't know. I don't think so. I like being by myself. I don't
Hmm.
know. It depends.
If a opportunity came about and they said like, hey, it's a really great opportunity, but we want you to work with another creator who also kind of makes the same content, and we want you guys to like volley off of each other, would you be open to it?
If there's a team and a good salary, yes.
Okay.
With that situation, we did not get along.
Okay. Y'all didn't get
Um,
along while y'all were making videos,
right.
so it would just be like y'all would turn on the camera and be like,
Like, no, we were really close friends, but we just did not get along. Like,
okay.
I don't know if you've ever had a relationship, a friendship. Have you ever had a friendship like that?
I mean, no, not really. Where we didn't get
Like
along.
you were like this, but you just hated each other, but you loved each other.
It was like a brotherly kind of like
It
hate
was,
love relationship. Like
yes,
I just know you. I know the stuff that I don't like about you, but it's fine because that's just who you
yes. It
are.
was a hate love relationship, and I kind of felt like it was one of those relationships where I thought it was gonna be like a forever friendship.
Hmm.
But it turned out not to be a forever friendship. So I would deal with things that I hated just because I loved that person.
Okay. Okay. And I think I remember like. So wait, were you doing? Were you still had that joint channel when I met you? Were you still?
No,
Okay.
no. So that was like a college thing. When we were in college, I created a YouTube channel, and then my best friend at the time, he became my best friend. He kind of like joined in later.
Okay.
So then it became our channel.
Right.
But the relationship was just doomed from the beginning. Like we just didn't get along.
Is that what led to the uncomfortable demise of y'all old channel?
Yes, we had came out with a video, and there was a disagreement, and it ended up being a fight.
Like a fist
Not a
fight?
physical fight.
Okay.
I don't fist fight.
I was like,
No, we don't fist fight.
ooh.
But it ended up being a disagreement to the point where his mother got involved, called my phone and tried to check me about our little situation. And I'm like, at this point, I think I was 21, 22.
Okay. Arguing with
So
someone's
why?
mama.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. And then his boyfriend got involved at the time and
Hmm.
threatened to beat me up.
Oh my God, Aaron, you had so
And
many people after
then
you.
our mutual friend at the time turned on me and switched when she was more my friend than his. So I was so shocked. And she switched teams and stuff like that, and whatever. And it got kind of spicy. And I was like, okay, girl, you better calm it down because I got a little girlfriend for you. Because I'm not gonna beat up no girl, but I got a girlfriend, and we're gonna do what you do.
Yeah.
So it got to a point where it's like I went onto the internet and told my story about the demise or the disagreement or whatever.
Hmm.
And his mom was like, "Well, if you go on the internet telling lies, and I'm gonna call the dean, and I'm gonna call the cops." And the other girl, the mutual friend, she wanted to call the cops. It was really it
What?
was crazy. It was yeah.
Were you what? Under what grounds? Like defamation of character?
Well, the mom. So I went onto YouTube. I created another channel. It's called Life of Aaron. It's still on the internet, and
But you
I just
operate.
explained the story,
Okay, but right
the
now you
disagreement.
operate up under House of Aaron.
Right now, I'm House of Aaron. This was a blog channel called Life of Aaron.
Okay.
So my first video was like me kind of like explaining like what happened to the Chris and Aaron show.
Hmm.
That was his name, Chris. And so the mom, then after I posted the video, because I talked about how his mom called me and kind of like threatened me because there was like some money involved, but it was like chump change.
Okay.
So the mom was calling me, threatening me, talking about you need to give my son his money.
Wait, so the money that y'all were making from y'all
together.
joint channel,
Right.
well, and this is like in the earlier days of like not only YouTube but you making money from YouTube.
Right.
Was it even enough to be arguing about?
No, not at all. It was nothing.
More than 100?
It was maybe a couple hundred. Like it was chump change.
A month.
Yes.
Okay.
It was literally no money.
Gotcha.
But she was concerned about her son and her money, so she had called me up. Anyway, so when I did my other channel, I just explained the story, and she was a part of the story because she had called me up.
Okay.
So when I explained my story on my new channel, she then hit me up on Snapchat and said that you're slandering, it's defamation of character and stuff like that. Like, leave my name out of the stories.
Mm.
And I don't know if I responded. I don't think I responded because I was a media major and I took a defamation class. We took a media law class, and it's only defamation if it's a lie.
Gotcha.
So I was like, okay, well, fuck your son and fuck you, and that's it.
And that was the last time that you talked about that.
That was the last time. And then the boyfriend threatened me. The friend threatened me. So the friend said that she was gonna call the cops on me because I said, if you keep messing with me, I'll get my girlfriend for your ass. So that's why. But the ironic thing about it is that everyone who threatened to call the cops on me, first off, I'm not a criminal. I don't have a criminal record. Maybe a speeding ticket, maybe a stop sign, California roll situation. Mm-hmm. But everybody who tried to call the cops on me, they had been to jail before. So they're the real criminals. I've never been to prison. I've never been to jail.
Wow, so you're saying that people who have been to jail or prison are criminals?
Yeah. Well, they have criminal-like tendencies, and they've been to prison before. So I felt like it was nothing but projection because they saw that I was going places in life, and they saw that I was on the pathway to greatness, and they weren't on for the ride. They weren't tagged along for the ride. So
right. So
they were projecting that energy onto me.
And so basically, you're saying that anyone has been to jail
I'm not saying prison, everyone that's been to jail. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, and you're just saying they're not on the path to greatness and success.
No, I didn't say that either.
Well, you said that you are, and it's mainly because you're not a criminal.
No, what I'm saying was people who had threatened to call the cops on me have been to prison. Mm-hmm. That is ironic. Mm-hmm. You being a jailbird trying to call the cops on somebody else who's never been in trouble a day in their life. That doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is.
And so you said that was the last time that you had talked about it, and now we're talking about it now. Yes. Have you ever, in between that time period, have you heard people bringing it up, asking you about it, anything like that, or seen any videos come out from that person or from any other blogs?
Like in recent memory, no.
Okay.
It's pretty much a dead situation, but that is a part of my story.
Okay.
And honestly, I love that for me.
Thank you.
Because you're welcome.
Yeah. Because I feel like you have so much content now that like nobody knows where you came from.
Somebody just on TikTok. So I've been on TikTok for maybe like a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And somebody just wrote me saying, because on TikTok, you just are scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and people will pop up.
Yeah.
So I popped up on somebody's For You page, and they messaged me, and they were like, "Oh my God, like, welcome to TikTok." Mind you, I've been on TikTok for over a year. But they go, "Welcome to TikTok. I remember you from the Chris and Aaron show." I was like, wow. Okay. Like, I thought that was so sweet. So, and then one of the first housewives that I ever, had a thing with was Monique Samuels.
Okay.
And that was because a guy that was working with her at the time knew me from my former channel.
Okay.
So it's still like a blessing.
Okay.
Even though it ended up in a disaster, it still launched what I'm doing now.
Yeah, I feel like you said, that's a part of your story, and things like that are a blessing because it definitely shows like where you came from and things, and it kind of helps you kind of navigate this newfound like trajectory and things like that.
Yes.
And speaking of trajectory, so you started your own channel, and in like the earlier days of that new channel, outside of the vlogs, which was Life of Aaron, you had House of Aaron, and you were pretty much talking about like one of the first videos you were saying that you were going to be covering hot topics and current events. You also, you know,
you saw the first video.
Yes, and you guys, I got to do my scoop. How you doing? I don't know if that.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Research is key. Okay.
And you were pretty much talking about you were divulging that you are you're political. You have things that you care about in the world and in the media as it pertains to politicians and politics and laws and legislations. Is that still like a thing? Are you still into that?
Ooh, excuse me. I'm belching. Yes.
Okay.
I'm very much into politics. I've always said when I become rich and famous, I think I want to do advocacy work, and I want to really focus on the Black community and getting out the vote.
Okay. Yes. Period. I feel like as much as you care about it, as much as you care about like activism within like the Black community, I feel like I am like a micro activist, and I care mainly about like queer Black like rights. And
I'm the same.
Yeah, especially right now, like we need people like that, especially dealing with this whole like drag ban and things like that. Please make sure you go to your local oh gosh, your local For You page when it comes to activism and drag bans. You could just go to Google, search it up. I'm sure there's, you know, a petition that you can sign and save your local drag bar. But yeah, I just had to, you know, put that out there.
Yeah, they're banning drag brunches. Florida's crazy. There's the NAACP put out like a disclaimer, like a travel advisory that it's not safe for Black people, and it's
Black people in general.
safe for queer Black people. They're banning the drag brunches. They're gelling the drag queens who perform in public. They're banning books
based around
African American books. They're banning AP African American Studies in high school.
You can't even bring up race. It's literally against the law.
Or gender. You can't teach a child about gender. You can assign a child a baby's gender at birth.
Maybe before birth. Like gender reveals.
That's true. You assign, it's crazy how you can assign a gender to an unborn baby, but you can't teach a child. You can't teach them about gender until after the 3rd grade or something, according to this law.
Listen, ignorance is bliss, and some people like to stay in the dark. Florida is notoriously a very slow state, and they like to continue to stay that way. But back on topic, like, and even in that, like I love that you just like knew so much about that, and like,
and the governor who's pushing all of this, Ron DeSantis, he's running for president. Republican? Are you a Republican?
I'm not. Wow. Actually, I don't even think I'm a Democrat either. I think someone told me that I am a liberal.
Okay, I'm a liberal too. I'm a Democrat liberal.
Come on, liberation. Yeah. I don't know. Is that like
liberal means like progressive?
Okay. Yeah.
So like, are you pro-choice?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Are you? How do you feel about healthcare? Who should have access?
I feel like Aaron is doing this. Aaron is doing this on purpose because I said, and I'm not afraid to say it. I don't think that healthcare should be free. I don't because how else is that's a key component in the circulation of like funds in our economy. Like we pay for healthcare. That money from healthcare goes down to like it's a system for a reason. I don't think that it should be as expensive as it is. And of course, like if you can't afford healthcare, there should be something there in that place. But I don't think that it should be free. Like I don't think you should just like just walk in a place and you're like.
Yes, if you're dying, if you have an emergency, if you break your leg, if you need to get tested, any sort of blood work, like you should be able to walk into your whatever office, clinic, physician's office, and get what you need.
Oh yeah, of course, get it done. But
like
then
you're supposed to just die. What happens?
No, but when the bill comes, who's gonna pay for it?
The government.
My taxes.
I mean, did we not just try to save them people under 13,000 feet underwater? And they've been dead. We've been spending money for 3 days, and they've been dead for 3 days. So if y'all can spend money on that, you can spend money on me and other people and their health care.
Well, that's not one of the things that you started talking about in the early days of your channel.
Okay.
What I do see when I look in the first couple of videos is you started talking about reality TV, and not just Housewives. Like, what other shows were you like covering then, or like what were you talking about?
I don't know. Remind me.
Well, it was mainly Housewives, and then yeah, it was current events of different celebrities that like had
I
things going
remember
on.
around that time it was Andrew Gillum. Do you know who that is?
No.
He ran. Do you know who Ron DeSantis is?
Yes.
Okay, so Ron DeSantis, before he became governor, he had to go against a Democrat, right?
Uh huh.
That Democrat was Andrew Gillum. Turns to find out Andrew Gillum, who lost, great politician, was a great politician. He lost and whatever. And maybe about, I don't know, a few months after that election, he was found unconscious in a hotel room, butt ass naked, sharing a hotel room with like this gay prostitute
Mm.
on some sort of drug, allegedly. I remember that was a big story. I remember I used to talk about Tasha K a lot,
Yes.
and how she's, a little nutty.
Delulu.
What else did I talk about back then? I don't know. That was kind of like the pandemic was kind of, I don't know, a whole
Hmm.
bunch of stuff.
Yeah, but what stayed consistent was like the recaps and the reviews of.
Housewives. Housewives is what really kind of took it off. Yeah.
Okay. And like, did you see that? Did you start like noticing like, okay, the girls are like liking this, like
Yes.
people are watching this, and what made you go down that trajectory and like that lane and that
Mm,
avenue?
it's something that I'm super interested in. So I feel like advice to any content creators: the best content is going to come from the things that you're genuinely interested in.
Who I am so glad you said that.
Yeah.
You literally told me to review RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's like my channel is already like I know this is like a small like feat, but I'm still pretty proud of it. I made a video just like my very first video ever reviewing like Drag Race or talking about any drama revolving around Drag Race, and it did like 2,000 views in like a day.
Boom.
I was like, you
Boom.
told me. I literally go back and I watch the messages of us texting. And you're like, yeah, and the thumbnail eats too. Like the
Yeah.
girls are gonna like this.
Yeah.
Like, and I just want to say that I'm honestly so thankful that you're not one of the people that are like, kind of like what is it called? Like you don't gatekeep.
I'm not a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I was called a gatekeeper at one point, but I'm not.
By who?
You know.
Oh. Well.
I'm not a gatekeeper because I don't feel like we're all in different lanes. We all do different things. We're all interested in different stuff. I'm never gonna gatekeep.
Yeah.
And I'm not even. I don't even view myself as big to just be acting like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I will say that yeah, you're right. Doing talking about stuff that I already knew so much about and was interested in myself, it was just like flowing out. And like even the I guess um the relationship that I was like creating with like subscribers and stuff like that, people are like in the comments, like I feel like I'm really having a conversation. I'm like, yeah, girl, like you saw that too. Like it was so organic and like it didn't seem forced. So I was honestly running out of space to talk. Like I was like, I'm gonna have to make another video. Like, but
That's awesome. I love
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So was it hard like starting a new channel? Like were you kind of missing those old subscribers and the flow that you were already going on?
It was hard, but honestly, this journey was better than the last because I had complete control.
Okay.
So honestly, okay, so World of Coke. I don't know. I think I had quit after a while. I quit, and then I had another job. The pandemic hit, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go full steam ahead. Like I'm gonna get. I think in 2019, right before the pandemic, fall of 2019, I said I'm gonna give myself a year to do YouTube, to really go in on it. And then the pandemic hits. I was like, everybody's at home. They're watching and consuming content. This is the perfect time. And it really was. If you were sitting at home during the pandemic, not creating content, I don't know what you were doing.
I wish that I was hopping on the wave because Drag Race
That
was
was the way.
still like going and like things like that. And you're right, like I will say doing YouTube, even though it is hard as hell, like this is honestly one of the hardest things I've ever done. And as a designer, this doesn't come first to me. I'm more of like a thread and needle kind of girl. This is a lot more technical. There's always something going wrong. I'm like, is it the mic? Is it the computer? Is it my phone? Is it the app that I'm using? It's da, 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 da. Outside of just trying to make good content for people to view and consume and stuff like that. And so, like, I will just say, like, wait, what were we talking about? I I will get on a roll and I'll just keep rolling down the hill, child.
The pandemic.
Oh yeah, the pandemic. Oh, and so I went down the avenue of like creating my fashion show, like which you did attend. Yeah, I was a pandemic baby. My brand, Bozo Boys Originals. I'm coming back for you, girl. And yeah, but I will say, as hard as YouTube is, it's also so easy. People want to watch stuff.
Yeah.
They want to watch anything. They will rewatch something that they just watched so they can see like, do you feel the same way that I feel? Like
Yeah.
it's the content is out there. Like the demand for it is out there. So if you're
Definitely.
ever wondering, is someone gonna watch this, baby? You're watching it for a reason, and it's still on air for a reason. So just put it out there.
Boom.
So in this new channel and stuff like that, and you started to see that like, okay, these couple of videos are popping off. The pussy is popping. Was it hard to get like subscribers like in this new, space that you were in?
I mean, yeah, it's still hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's harder to get subscribers than views. Like,
I mean, the views is what you want on YouTube. It's a views thing. The money's gonna come from the views. As far as subscribers and views, it's hard to get both. It's
really?
hard. Yeah. I
But
feel like I'm having a harder time now than I did then.
why?
I don't know.
Like in the beginning of your new channel, or like then when in your old channel?
Beginning my new channel,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm having a harder time now. I feel like at a certain point you kind of plateau.
Okay.
I feel like maybe I'm at a plateau right now, and you want to be exponential. You want to go up.
Well,
So
have you ever thought about like, as far as like elevating your like content, like, because at this point, Aaron, I think that you are like, I would move you past micro influencer because you've gotten like scoops on things, like you've done groundbreaking like research. You have had a appearance on a worldwide television show. Like at this point, I feel like someone needs to reach out to you to say, hey, I want you to
well,
sit down with these girls.
I am working on that.
Okay.
We're gonna work on elevating.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that could ever that at this point in your career could take you past the point of like where you already have these loyal fans and stuff is you're bringing on other people's fans.
Yes.
Because the content is there. The shit is quality. I watch it, in between like different things. Like sometimes I'm actually not watching, but I'm listening.
Mm.
Um, and so yeah, I would say that's the only thing that I could say.
In the future, we're gonna have a lot more people on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So it was hard to get like subscribers and
It's
views. It
hard,
still
but I think the
is.
number one thing, going back to advice, like it's gonna be hard. Like, and sometimes you'll wake up, you'll post something overnight, it'll have 2,000 views.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll wake up overnight and you'll see that it only has 3 views. If you really want to um, make a mark on social media or really be a content creator, you have to keep going regardless.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't see the growth at first and they're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna stop or phase out or whatever. And no, if you really want to do it for real, you do it regardless if you're getting views or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good advice. And so when you when this channel started picking up, like, did you see yourself making as much money as you were making like with that joint like account, like, or were you starting to see like you were making money, like, because of course YouTube does have like different eligibility levels and things like that, but once
Mm.
you had hit that second mark and you were like, okay, this is a young creator, like you were in that status, were you making more money then, or like,
Way more money.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. And were, I mean, because you told me before, like, you didn't quit your full time job until.
I didn't quit. So usually, like, if you watch people who give advice on social media and stuff like that, they'll basically say, wait until you build up 7 months worth of an income or something like that. 7 months worth of a living until you quit your job to go full time content creation. I didn't do that because I don't got time for that. The second I made a penny over, the second I made a penny over doing YouTube over my regular job, I quit and started doing it. It took me a year. Remember I said in fall of 2019, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this because I could not find a job. I went to school for media communications and I wanted to do something in like TV production or news or something like that. I could not find a job. So I'm like, okay, maybe content creation or entrepreneurship is the route that I need to go in. So I started in like September, October of 2019. I quit my job in September, October of 2020.
Wow.
And the second I made a penny over is when I quit.
Wow.
Then the following 2 months, I made the most money I ever made in my entire life.
And like, are you making more than that now?
I'm trying to.
Okay. How consistent were you in that year to get to that point?
How consistent? Every day.
You were making a video every single day.
And making content every day.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And you were seeing that growth like as you were being consistent, like it was just like but it was a slow growth.
It's slow and steady. It still is slow and steady.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, like I'd be like, I'll watch a video and I'll see when it like stops. It's like, all right, they're not watching no more. Give us something new. Like you can't ride this way forever, Pooh. After 2 days, it's done. Yeah. It's done growing.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's the only thing about content creation. It's very fickle. And like you're only really as good as your last moment on the video. So that's why people have been turning to like Patreon, OnlyFans, and stuff like that, to where you're getting a consistent check. People are subscribing to you like monetarily.
Yeah.
And because with YouTube is like, okay, this video does great the first day, but it doesn't do anything the second day. So now you have to make another video. So
and yeah, especially with the algorithm, like someone is making new content every day. They don't have time for your video.
And then if you're doing current events, hot topics, news, it's like it's a constant.
Oh yeah.
I get burnt out really quickly.
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, I just get sick of it. It becomes too much. Because I do commentary, but it's like it's based on what's happening in the news. It just becomes too much sometimes. Because you always feel like you are pressured to come out with something else.
Something new. Yeah, I feel that. And sometimes, like, even right now, because I am just starting to venture off into that lane outside of my podcast, like, I am reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race, like, All Stars 8. Check that out. But also, like, I'm over here, like, I'm grasping at straws. Like, I'm like, you know what? I caught myself the other day about to make a video about something so boring. I was like, they don't want to hear
Why?
It was like, so-and-so, said that they're not wearing this like leotard, or they're not wearing this brand of like not athletic wear, but like stage wear and stuff like that, like because it's too, they don't use enough hues, like they don't have like black, like
this is Drag Race.
Yeah, Drag Race. And so I was like, oh, is this person canceled? I found myself in that clickbait sort of like mindset where I'm over here like, this person's canceled because they don't want to wear brown leotards. I'm like, you're making this up. Like this had one
little. It's okay to over exaggerate sometimes. Because I do it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it all the time because that's really the name of the game is clickbait. And clickbait has such a negative connotation, but what all clickbait is, people will say that clickbait is like you're misleading people. But to me, as long as I tell the truth, in my titles, I try to tell the truth in the most exciting way as possible. The most sensational version of the truth. So the name of the game is clickbait, and I don't really...
Even how you talk about it, like, even, okay, the clickbait got them there, but, like, your content, you seem so excited to deliver this information. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's a subdued excitement. Like, it's like, if I had to like cosplay as you right now, if I was on Snatch Game and I chose Erin Keenan as like my person, it would be like, Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the house. We are today talking about Monica Lewinsky and her affair with the president. Do you like happy birthdays? I like cake. But not this cake. We're gonna be actually talking about like it's just very like I don't even know. Bra, da, da, da.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I try
so
to. People want to watch something that you're into.
yeah, like, and honestly, especially, I don't know, the pandemic also introduced a lot of people into like, yeah, watching content while they're doing other shit. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I've seen because I'm such a nerd. I'll be in the analytics of my videos, and I'll see where someone is like watching, but like they're not doing anything. They're not commenting. They're just like, it's like, dude. I'm like, oh, girl, at least rewatch a certain part so I can know like what's good and what's
Do
not.
you like watching shorter videos or longer videos?
I like short videos that are straight to the point if I want to know something. If I'm like in love with the creator themselves and like their opinions on certain things and our opinions align, I like long videos. I
Mm.
do. But if it's an informational like something happened, baby, tell me what happened.
I think that's my. I have a conflict with that.
And why?
I don't know. 'Cause sometimes I just want to be like, okay, I want to be the channel where it's like quick. People come for the information, but then it's like, no, I want to be the channel where you're coming to hear my opinion.
But I
So
feel
it's
like
like
you have a good balance of that.
I try to.
Your shorts are like this is what happened. She said this.
Yeah,
She said that back. How do you feel? Let me know. Subscribe.
yeah.
Yeah. But then your videos, baby, sometimes
But
they be
people hate. That's the thing. When you said you you like watching videos when they align with your opinions.
yeah.
I have such unpopular opinions. They say I have bad takes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we have a few of your opinions pulled up, and we have some that weren't received so well.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna have you read them. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we have some of your comments from your channel pulled up, and we're just gonna have you read them and share your opinion on how this person felt.
Okay. Dwight Fan 2013 epic fail review. You ought to be ashamed for dragging Candy like that. You have just did an interview with her. Is this how you repay her? Not cool at all.
Okay, for people who don't know, Aaron did an interview with Candy Burris Tucker,
Mm-hmm.
where you were pretty much talking about the scoop that you got from Carlos King, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And how he was planning on stealing her whole likeness,
Allegedly.
allegedly. And afterwards, you followed up with an interview with the girl. And would you say that kind of like, you feel like that kind of,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So do
But
you,
people feel like when you interview somebody, it's like, oh, like you now owe them. You're indebted. Your life is, theirs.
mm-hmm.
And I just kind of feel like, no, I don't kiss ass.
Okay.
One thing, you can come on to the channel a million times. I'm never gonna kiss your ass. I don't have an allegiance unless you pay me. Unless I'm on payroll.
And I feel like that's what makes a good
That's
creator,
an
like
unbiased
an
person.
unbiased person. Like,
Cause she sent me gifts. Don Juan has sent me a gift, and I still like Don Juan and the girls. But mm-mm.
okay.
If I disagree with Candy on something, if I feel like she's being a mean girl, then I feel like she's being a mean girl. If
Mm.
I feel like she's trying to be a Nene Jr., then I feel like she's trying to be a Nene Jr. If I feel like she wants people to kiss her ass like Drew Sidora, then I feel like people are kissing her ass.
Okay.
Ronaldo Williams 95-75. So I said I was voting for Marianne Williamson. Do you know who that is?
Nope.
In the Democratic primary.
Nope.
She's running against Joe Biden. They said, I know like hell you didn't just say you were going to waste a vote on Marianne. Bro, stay home.
Okay, so
And
like,
we had a whole back and forth.
see, that's why I don't. I my channel will never be about politics. Never. It's so it's so touchy for people. I don't
It
get
is
it.
very touchy, but I think it's important. I don't think there's not a lot of young black people talking about politics. So I feel like that is a space that I want to infiltrate.
Well, I think the main reason is like at least I'll speak for myself. I think as a black person and through the queer experience, I feel an like it's unimaginable how much I feel like as much as I do, I still can't change the world. Like, and I hate to say that out loud because I feel like I could, but it's just like there's so many things against me. Like, it's just like, what is me putting one little white hole in the White House gonna do for me?
A
Like,
white hole in the White House. Well, I
like,
mean, imagine when black people couldn't vote. Imagine when whites and blacks were segregated. Imagine when we didn't have the same rights. How did black activists feel back then? How did Rosa Parks, MLK, Malcolm X, how did those people feel when we had a third of the rights?
could you imagine? Okay, now what we have like what a half of the rights.
We have way more rights. Yes.
But could you imagine them voting and things still don't change?
Things do change. Things do change. Voting matters. Voting matters.
I wouldn't have voted for Biden if I could have a redo.
Oh wow. Who would you have voted for? Trump? Because there was only Trump. It was Trump versus Biden.
Oh, my original.
And Trump is a criminal.
Well, we
twice indicted and twice impeached, and he's a convicted sexual abuser.
Well, Aaron, we heard that you already feel like people who go to jail cannot be.
I didn't say that. No.
But my choice was actually Bernie Sanders. He did not make it.
And my choice was Marianne Williamson.
Yeah. Neither one of us got what we wanted.
No, so. But that's okay because Joe Biden is a hell of a lot better than the alternatives, and I'm fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have one last.
I do. Okay, somebody came into my Instagram DMs. They said just because you booty tickling busters enjoy miserable, messy ass bitches like Marlo from Housewives doesn't mean Kandi is a puppet master, because I'll call Kandi a puppet master. You Marlo fans are annoying as F. Failed former Nene fans cause her weird ass had an obsession with Kandi as well. A pathetic bitch like you. Oh, something. They called me a pathetic bitch. And they said, and Kandi gave you an interview, now you're talking shit. Boy, bye. That was in my DM. That was. Kandi fans are bullies. Yeah. Kandi fans are bullies. Y'all are bullies.
I love you, Kandi.
I like Kandi too, but bullies.
Charles better than.
Like, why does Kandi have a fan base like the fucking Beehive?
Cause she's that girl.
Clearly. But how come the 10 million followers ain't 10 million on the TV screen?
She can't carry the whole show by herself.
She can't. You're absolutely right. She cannot.
So what do y'all want her to do? Like, she already sending people to shoot her cousin allegedly.
Huh?
I've seen comments where people are like, this seems like a scheme that so and so done set up.
She got her cousin. She got
like that. They're saying like that. Like she that they got the cousin shot or something, and it just didn't make sense to me because one thing about Kandi, she loves her business,
and that's why she don't want to talk about nothing. You want to use the platform to promote your businesses, but then when something negative happens within your business, you don't want to talk about it. And I just kind of feel like that's bullshit. And y'all can say it's a legal matter all you want to, but it's still bullshit. So it is what it is.
Aaron, your YouTube is House of Aaron. Please disclose how many subscribers you have.
60,000 something.
60,000.
60,900, almost 61.
Okay. How many views do you have in the last 30 days?
Oh, I don't know. 600,000?
600,000. Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome. What would you say that you average a month? Are you comfortable disclosing that?
Money?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Why not?
Enough to live.
Enough to live?
Yeah.
What would you say you make annually then?
Enough to live.
Ballpark.
Enough to live.
Oh gosh. Anyways, so yeah, cancel culture. I believe that there was the reasoning behind this, but like, you know, we had a friend, you were like, hey, I don't want to be recorded filming, like disclosing this conversation, like I don't want to be like videoed saying this, like I'm having candid conversation with a friend, I don't want to be recorded.
Boom.
Why?
Because it's a candid, personal, private conversation. Do you want your candid, private, personal conversation to be exploited for your
So I'm a pretty open book.
Unless it's a clear, like, okay, we're being filmed, we're filming a podcast, that's different.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you feel like cancel culture is real? Do you feel like at any moment something could happen, you say the wrong thing, and it's all
Cancel culture is real. Do I feel like it can affect me? Possibly in a small way.
over? Okay.
I feel like I'm a very PC person. I feel like I'm a very what is it, like, politically correct.
Okay.
I feel like when you hold yourself to certain standards, it's easier to be canceled.
Okay.
When you're like sensational, bombastic, like when you don't like, if you're like a Tasha K character, it's harder to be canceled because you already don't give a fuck to begin with. Yeah. Like Candace Owens, when you start off controversial, you can't be canceled.
And I think that's a big part of why I'm such an open book. Because I mean, you're on my Instagram and in my close friends. Like it get buck, okay? It gets buck, and it really I've created that defense mechanism for myself even at a young age because I was just like I was always the hot topic. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all something to really talk about. And then what can you talk about if I'm always the hot topic? Like I saw Regina George wearing army pants and flip flops. Like, duh, we know that already. So like, yeah, that's why I like it. Speaking of the hot topic, so we already talked about how you had got the inside scoop with the Carlos King thing. And your interview with Candy, who reached out to who? Like once you got that scoop, you reached out to Candy.
Wait, yeah, she did. Yeah.
Oh, she reached out to you and was like,
wait, what? Like, what do you mean?
Okay, so you got the Carlos King from Candy. Yeah. Oh, okay, I thought you.
No. So I had known that Carlos King and Candy weren't getting along, per Candy's own words. Like, she was doing a live. And maybe like a week or two later, I interviewed her. And I asked her, so what is the beef between you and Carlos? Mm-hmm. And when she said, I think she said, because she had did like 7 interviews that day.
Yeah.
And she said something like, oh, no one has asked me about that yet. And I was like, that's when I knew, well, we have a viral moment. And then she started to cry and the vein popped out. I was like, oh, we have a viral moment.
Aaron's like,
it's literally in my head. I'm like, oh my God. So, yeah, so that's how it happened. And it's actually her people, like, we were trying to do something maybe like a year before. And then like a year later, she decided that she wanted to do a whole bunch of press with YouTubers.
I was about to say this was when she was like doing press, and it was like 7 YouTubers that she was like just picking at random and stuff like that.
I probably won't be in the next round, but that's okay.
Well, it's okay because like I think it's okay. I think you're doing fine, and so is she. Candy's fine. But yeah, Bravo actually used that footage and that interview in their recent season of Roa.
They used a different clip.
Oh, right. They used a different clip from that same interview, though, right?
No.
Right. Let me tell you, when I came over to see like you on TV, which was like so dope, I just knew for a fact that they were going to be talking about this Carlos King thing.
Because Carlos King used to be an executive producer for Housewives, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So there's no way that they're going to make Carlos King a storyline on their show. They're not going to do that.
Okay.
Even though Carlos King discovered Martell, Sheree's boyfriend. Okay. And they're on Love and Marriage, and he's currently on the.
Oh, chill. So much. Okay. So like through that, and you feel like you probably won't be in the next round of.
Which is okay, because we have other people. Since then, we've done Jason Lee. We did Candice Dillard Bassett. Sonia Richards Ross is next. I want to get Marlo Hampton on. Who else has been on there? Some other folks. We want to get some bloggers on there. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So do you feel like artists or like people in general that you have these conversations and like hot takes about, like, do you feel like they have like not beef with you, but they're like, I'm good on him, he's
celebrities?
Yeah, celebrities and other bloggers.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Carlos King doesn't like me. Because actually when we broke the thing about Carlos King, it was like I was on my journalism stuff. So I was like, okay, well, we got Candy's side of the story. Let me get Carlos King's side of the story. So I DM'd him. He didn't never opened it up. So I have a friend, another blogger friend who knows him personally. So he asked on my behalf, and he was like, "Yeah, no, thank you." Carlos did not want to come on my channel, which is totally fine. I understand because I'm a very harsh critic, so I could understand. Like, I don't take offense. I don't care.
Okay.
Because I'm like, yeah, I do talk shit. So if people like don't want to come on because I'll be talking shit, then I totally get that. Because I wouldn't want to come on somebody's platform that talks shit about me.
I feel like I can handle it. Like, I feel like I'd be like,
I'm a very nice interview. My commentary is way different from my interviews. Mm-hmm. My commentary is kind of like my deep inner thoughts. My interviews is like I try to be more professional and try to give them like more courtesy.
Yeah, and things.
I don't go in.
Yeah, I think you volley a lot with like your guests and stuff like that. Like you're like, it has its peaks and valleys, like of good and bad and things I've heard, and like you really do. I'd be like you're a journalist, but you say that you're not a journalist.
Yeah, I do. It's some journalism involved. But,
yeah. Well, do you have any advice to any future journalists, bloggers, YouTubers, TikTokers? That you feel like could help them. I feel like you dropped a lot of gems throughout this. You could probably tell them about like expanding across different platforms.
Yes. If you're not on TikTok, TikTok is the wave right now.
Okay. Honestly. So what do you do? Like, do you take
TikTok. I take YouTube as my main. So whatever I do on YouTube, I just chop it up and put it onto TikTok.
And so I saw because I was on your TikTok recently, and you have your YouTube in your bio, like the link. You have to show me how to do that too, because I'm like, I don't want them to have to click on the.
On TikTok yet?
I have. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm following all the. Because I don't have a year. I don't have a year.
I feel like people our age, like late 20s, 30s, 40s, they don't want to be on. It's like YouTube. TikTok. That's for kids.
Oh, okay.
They don't want to be on TikTok. Get on TikTok.
Gotcha. Yeah. And yeah, kids are on TikTok heavy, and they're just clicking and watching anything. So, yeah. What I will say though is, do you feel like it's possible to like start making money from YouTube before a year? Do you feel like there's anything that you could have done that could have got you where you are now a lot faster?
Consistency, starting earlier. Mm-hmm. But when I started, I don't think there's anything differently I could have did.
Okay. Have you ever thought about quitting?
All the time. 2 days ago, probably.
Well, last time you came over here, you was talking about quitting.
Yeah.
But then what would you do?
I don't know. That's why I haven't quit.
Okay.
That's why I haven't quit, because I don't know. Honestly, I have been thinking in the past, few months that I do want to like maybe start a business. I don't know, just do something different. I have like a couple of different. I have like maybe 3 ideas a month that I want to do. But no, I want to quit every day because content creation is hard. It's basically entrepreneurship. Some days are good, some months are good. Some months you get to make a ton of money, some months you don't. Mm-hmm. So it's very fickle, and it's very like some days people like your takes, and then other times you have bad takes and everyone hates you. So it's very like that sort of inconsistent energy bothers me. Mm-hmm. So that's why I be wanting to quit, but I have not yet.
Okay, and on the flip side of that, like what future, you already told us some of your upcoming interviews and stuff like that, but like further down the line, 5 years from now, where is House of Aaron?
I see myself having a show. I don't know what that show looks like, but a show.
A television show?
A show.
Where would you like
it doesn't even have to be TV. I feel like TV is a dying platform.
So where would you, you would like it on the streaming?
Yeah.
Like where? Peacock?
Somewhere.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron. Honestly, I really appreciate you coming over and filming my podcast with me. I'm in my early days, and
you're doing good, and you're doing your thing. Especially with the Drag Race. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Because I think the thing that people are scared to start, and you've started and you've continued. So you're halfway there.
When I tell you, one of the most discouraging things is feeling like I'm getting on people's nerves. Like having to I'm putting out stuff every single day, and I'm like
on your social, like on your Instagram?
Yeah, on my social media. Like
I don't even post. Every time I make a video, I don't post it.
Okay.
I just post whenever I think, oh, this is really, really cute. Instagram is like for the really, really, really cute stuff.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, this clip is too cute. It's gotta go on Instagram.
Yeah.
If it's just like a regular old video, then it's like, okay, no, I don't post.
Yeah, I feel like my Instagram is becoming oversaturated.
Most of your views aren't gonna come from your Instagram.
Oh, honey, my views are coming from random people on YouTube.
Exactly.
Like it says YouTube search, shorts, this, and this. And then like at the bottom it's like outside. Yeah, external. Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is just two people from my
Instagram.
Yeah, from Instagram. Yeah. So yeah.
So promoting on Instagram is really not that big of a deal.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you so much, Aaron. You guys, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you subscribe to Aaron's channel at House of Aaron. And yeah, we're about to go get some drinks. Peace out, and see you later.